Welcome to episode 52, my friends. Glad to have you here. I'm Jacques Taylor, host of Jacques Talk. Got my boy Big Joe in the Big Rig, Joe Hartfield on the other end. What's up, Doc?
What up?
I hope you are prepared to be entertained and dazzled for the next hour or so. Did you get up to cashews, man? I didn't hear you nibbling on none today.
Nah, I'm good. I had a nice breakfast this morning. It's all good.
All right, well, I missed breakfast. I wish I had some cashews here. Hey, it's a good time today. Remember, you can always hit me up on Twitter at JJT Journalist. And remember, if you think you follow me, you don't. Trust me on that. My account got deleted, and I had to create a new one. JJT Journalist. I am Jean-Jacques Taylor. You can find me there on Twitter, X, whatever it is that we're calling it these days. We always like to remind you that if you're ever involved in an accident, and it doesn't have to be your fault, somebody else's negligence has affected your life and caused you some harm, some injury, whether it's medical malpractice, whether it's a car wreck, whether it's anything where you've been injured, what you need to do is pick up the phone and give my friends at Greening Law a call, 972-934-8900. And here's why. If you're involved in something like that and you're going up against somebody else's insurance company, rest assured, that thing can be scary. It can be a little bit intimidating. It can be tedious and long, all of that stuff. And what you need is somebody to ride with you. We're always looking for somebody to ride with us. Well, Greening Law is somebody who'll ride with you. They'll take you through the process, walk you through the process. That's one of my favorite things about them is they give you the answer to questions. Check this out now. You didn't even know you were supposed to ask. That's what I like about them. Hey, they don't get paid unless you get paid, so you never have to wonder how hard they're working for you, where you are on the priority list. You're number one at the top of the list. And so that's why Greening Law is the place to call if you've ever involved in an accident and it's not your fault. They want you focused on two things. So if you need a doctor, they'll find you one. You need a specialist, they'll find you one. Why? They want you focused on two things: rest and renewal. Get your mind right, get your body right, get your life back. It's really that simple. Get your mind back, get your body right, get your life back. It's that simple. Greening Law is the place to call, 972-934-8900 if you're ever involved in an accident and it's not your fault. We're going to start the show today with my boy Clarence Hill Jr., the longest tenured beat writer in Dallas-Fort Worth when it comes to covering the Cowboys. Remember, he'll tell you that. You can also find him on Thursdays at Ella B's in Arlington, where he does a show. This week he's got, we're always a week behind. But if you want some good catfish, you want some good, some wings, some great food, some good atmosphere, boy, they had the karaoke banging last Thursday. Ella B's, where Clarence does his thing each and every Thursday. You can find him there. He's brought to you on our show by Smokey John's. Clarence Hill Jr., what's up?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up?
What's happening? What the E stand for, Joe?
E stand for every time you say that, you catch me off guard, but it's all good.
Right now, it's saying for always something going on. Always something going on. I had a long weekend. Got back yesterday. I had to get up 5 a.m. coming back from New Orleans. I went to the Texas game in New Orleans. Got back at 5 a.m. Full day of work. I come home, try to get some sleep. My daughter calls me on the phone that she'd hit a curb in my car at 11 o'clock at night. And tore up the rim of the tire. And I had to get that towed to an auto shop last night.
Which one of your beautiful daughters was this?
I don't know how I'm getting to work this morning. I'm seeing they can get something done. So that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. It's always something.
Do I need to come get you?
I don't know.
I'll come get you if you need a ride, dog. Now, I guess we'll talk about, boy, the daughters have been hard on your cars, man.
Man,
but we're glad they're safe and sound, but they've been hard on the cars, man.
It's bumper cars all the time. So, yeah, it's crazy. I wasn't on I didn't see the curb. Like, how you hit a curb and you just got this big, you ran directly into the curb. I'm like, what is going on?
If it make you feel any better, And it might not, but if it make you feel any better, my dude did the same thing probably November. And I had the same questions. How did you do this again? And about $1,100 later, I was like, hey, man, you need to increase your hours, bro, because you're going to have to pay a little bit of this. So I feel your pain, my brother. I feel your pain.
Yeah, this is the second time she's done this since June. I was at training camp going in, and then she had my car while I was at training camp before she went to college. I mean, she hit the curve. She hit the curve on the left side, the driver's side, explained this to me, and messed up both rims. Had about 2 new rims and get some stuff done underneath. I'm like, what is going on?
Wow. Damn.
Maybe she need a new prescription. She got some depth perception issues. And
anyway, that's how my day has been going. That's what I'm dealing with to start the day. How about that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, this is a real life show, so we get into all of this. Before we get into your Dallas Cowboys, we do want to know, how was your experience? Because you kept going waffling whether you should go or shouldn't go. And I told you, I should have been even more persistent, but I told you, make sure you go and enjoy the experience with Texas because, for some of us, these things don't happen every year. So how was this? We know you don't like the result, but how was the experience, and are you glad that you went?
You know what? I worked so much. It was the holidays. It was a good getaway because I had all my family there for the holidays. House full of people. So this was about me, and so the outcome. I would have had a better time with have won. But just getting down there, seeing my friends, hanging out. I get there on I travel game day, and things are working out for me because I had a late flight and I was able to go stand by the early flight. I get there, run into a free food open bar, Texas party at 23rd floor rooftop of this hotel. So I'm not spending no money, and so it was good. And just during the game and just seeing my people and being with my people, it was a good time. And so I stayed extra day because I couldn't get out. So I had a good time on Tuesday. I went and watched Big Zion play. Tuesday night is funny, I always try to win, and the Pelicans were playing the Pelicans were playing the Brooklyn Nets, and they had tickets on game time for like $8. So me and my friend bought some $8 tickets. I also looked on game time and saw they had open seats on row 10 down to 100 section, and we never went to our 300 level seats. We went down to the 100 level seats and sat down and watched the whole game. And so I got to see, it wasn't a great game. They blew them out, but I want to see Zion in person. I got to see him, and there were empty seats all over the place. It was crazy, but it was fine. It was like something to do when they're in New Orleans. You can't beat $8 tickets to watch NBA basketball.
Bro, when do you not have a good time? That's what I want to know. You always E stands for everywhere you go. You have a good time. That's what I know.
I try to make the most of it, brother. You only live once.
Yes, sir.
No, that's good. That's why I was glad you went, man. I tell this to all my friends. Some of them take it more seriously than others, but especially those of us who have a certain grind nature and we working and all this. I mean, sometimes you do have to get away. Sometimes you have to let it down just for a minute. I know, now Clarence will tell me, I'm a one-man band, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of that is true, but, man, you don't want to spend your whole life working. Now, trust me, he does work the fun in, but sometimes you need some extra fun. So I was glad you went and had a good time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's all good. Now the Cowboys playoff whirlwind began, so.
Right, because you ain't going to have another break till after the Super Bowl. Woo-hoo.
It's
how you feel about go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
So what are your thoughts as the Cowboys head into Washington, and what a difference a weekend makes because they got everything in front of them and every reason to go and take care of business against Washington?
Yeah, it's interesting because we've been asking Mike McCarthy for the last couple of weeks about where they stand in the playoff race and looking around, and certainly and if they were watching and rooting against the Eagles and other teams, said, I'm not looking around until I get to 11 wins. And so they've been sitting on 10 for a couple of weeks, and things have been working in their favor. But I'm not looking around so I get 11 wins. I'm going to focus on winning and focus on us, and I'm not looking around till I get 11 wins. And to his credit, the Cowboys focused on themselves and took care of business, and certainly got to 11 wins finally. And lo and behold, the Eagles lose, and now the Cowboys have a chance to not to win the NFC East, which is a crazy stat. No team has repeated NFC East since 2004. Win NFC East and win and gain the opportunity to play not one but at least two home games in the playoffs. And we've been losing our minds the past couple of weeks about the losses on the road, back-to-back losses in Buffalo and Miami, and how they have to be road warriors. Now this was a death knell to any playoff hopes because they got to go on the road. You know how tough it is to win on the road. Well, lo and behold, the Cowboys could be home warriors. They win, get one, they win two, and they could look around and somebody could upset San Francisco to make it 3 home games. And what people don't understand is that people act like it's a knock on this Cowboys team and their character if they can't win on the road. But here's a stat for you. I don't know if I brought this up last week, but no Cowboys team has won 2 playoff games on the road since 1975. It is, it's hard to win on the road, but all these Super Bowl runs they've done have been with home field advantage, playing home games. Winning having to go the road way is not the recipe to get to the Super Bowl. It's never been a recipe to get to the Super Bowl for anybody. Certainly, you've had a few teams that have done it, come to the wild card round, but that's not the recipe to get to the Super Bowl. So you want to have games at home, and the Cowboys now, lo and behold, after everything that's happened, the blowout loss of Buffalo, blowout loss of San Francisco, have a chance to go 12-5 for the 3rd straight year, win the NFC East, and again secure the number 2 seed and possible at least 2 home games.
No, that to me was fantastic. The fact that you have an opportunity to get to at the crib, as long as you take care of business against Washington, it's just to me that was a phenomenal break that none of us really saw coming. Although I think I will give you credit for pointing out that the Miami loss wouldn't mean as much because it was a non-conference loss, and I don't know if if that registered with everybody. I know they heard it, but I don't know if everybody was listening. And then when Philadelphia dropped that game, it just opened it up, and now the Cowboys can take care of business. They get a chance to play 2 at the crib. Now, are you of the belief that because I heard some people saying, "Well, I'd rather play on the road because they might have to play a better team at home," and I was just like, "Well, everybody's kind of good in the playoffs. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play in Dallas if you're the Cowboys and you'd have won 15 or 16 in a row at the crib."
Yeah, I mean, it's silly. There's some people on Twitter talking about that. When they get to go, they get to, go to Tampa or go to New Orleans, and you get to win that one game, but then you'd have to go to San Francisco in game 2. I mean, that none of that makes any sense. And again, what we know is the Cowboys play the best football at home, and they play their best football against good teams, no matter who it is. You go back to whether it's Detroit, whether it's the Rams, whether it's the Eagles. They win at home, not just bad teams. You can't sit bad teams home. They beat everybody at home. They've done that consistently the past 2 years. Got a 16-game home winning streak. They're 8-0 this year at home. This is where they play the best football. This is where you want to be. And as I pointed out, it's hard to make a living in the playoffs going the road way. I mean, the Rangers did it. God bless the Rangers for what they did, but that's not the recipe for playoff success, is having to win on the road.
Not just that, but I think as impressive as it was for the Rangers, to me, there's a huge difference between playoff road in football and playoff road in baseball. Now, some teams are really built for their stadiums, but in general, I mean, I think winning on the road in football and winning on the road a Game 7 kind of thing in basketball are probably 2 of the hardest things to do, just because of the emotion that you feed off of from the crowd and how it can swing so much from game to game. So I think Cowboys are in a great shape, and now now it feels to me like it should be championship game or bust. Eh?
Oh, it feels that way for sure. I mean, that's what you hope. I mean, that's what you thought it was a couple of years ago. So you thought it was 2016. That's what you thought it was in 2007. You got to go out there and do it. You know,
Oh, no
they,
doubt.
they've had these situations before. You got to go out there and do it. And, it starts, this week in Washington because you got to secure it. I mean, I don't think this is the Washington team of a year ago that shocked the Cowboys and, on the road in the final game of the season. This team is imploding. The coach is going to be fired. The quarterback they've already said they want to move on from him. This team really has nothing to play for. This is a team that can rally up and do it. But again, you have to get it done. And this is step one. The Cowboys are going to play their guys. They have to win this game to get to secure home field advantage, and they should leave no doubt. That's how you want to leave no doubt. Going to the playoffs, leave no doubt against the Washington Redskins team, carry that momentum into the playoffs and feel good about yourself. Whether you get the Green Bay Packers or the Rams, whoever it was, this is the best possible scenario for you to possibly break that Super Bowl drought.
All right, let's talk real quick about this. Any surprises from the Pro Bowl from you yesterday? Cowboys had 7 guys selected to the Pro Bowl, including the kicker and the punter.
Yeah. The punter ain't got much work, so I don't know how he got there. But, obviously, the kicker was going to make it. There's no surprises. You hope that they would have more. I thought that Tyler Smith has been the best guard on the team. He's been better than Zach Martin this year. Zach Martin certainly got on his reputation. Got there because of his reputation. But Tyler Smith has been better. I thought he had a chance to get there. I thought Tyler Smith may have had a chance to get there. I thought that Marcus Lawrence may have had a chance to get there. But, it is what it is. You look at who they picked. Certainly the defensive end is a tough, pick for DeMarcus Lawrence. It is what it is. So, from the Cowboys standpoint, they don't want to play the game anyway. They want to be in the Super Bowl. They want to be named, but nobody wants to play the game. Yeah, they don't want to play in the game. They want to be in the Super Bowl. So, that's what it's about.
And I neglected to mention, so let me run them off right quick. There's Dak, CD, Zach Martin, Micah Parsons, Deron Bland, Brandon Aubrey, and then Brian Hanger, the punter. Dak Prescott has had a sensational year. I think he's leading the league in touchdown passes. Got a chance to secure that with another 1 or 2 this week for whatever that's worth. But I think he's going to be judged, and I ain't breaking no news here, I don't think, by what he does in the playoffs. What do you think?
No doubt, but that's this whole team. That's the head coach. That's everybody. Because that's Michael Parsons. And we, because I remember doing the Romo era, I always kick Romo's butt for not winning. But that was some of Jason Witten's work. That was some of DeMarcus Ware's work. All of them carried that. Yeah. They didn't get it done. They were all part of not getting it done. We put it so much on the quarterback. Well, that was the legacy of all those guys on those teams during those eras, and that's going to be Michael Parsons and everybody else's era until they do the DeMarcus Ware and go somewhere else and win somewhere else. That's possible if they have to do that. But that's on everybody. It's certainly on the quarterback, and certainly it's on Mike McCarthy. But it's on everybody. The CeeDee Lamb, everybody. You got to get it done in the playoffs. You look last year, it wasn't just Dak who didn't get it done. Some of that not getting it done. You could put around to many of the other stars on that team. In that playoff loss to San Francisco. But yeah, as the quarterback, a guy who's in line for a even bigger contract than he had before. That this is what it's all about. And as a Cowboys quarterback, certainly that's how you're judged. He's moving up on all the passing records. He's going to pass Troy. He's going to pass, Roger, and he's going to be right behind Romo. And if he continues to, he gets his next deal and continues to play Cowboys quarterback, he's going to end up as the franchise all-leading passer. But what does it mean? What does it mean for Romo when you don't have rings like Troy and Roger?
Let's dip here for just a moment. How much money has Dak made this year? Because at the start of the year, we felt one way about him. Yeah, at the start of the year, we felt one way about him. Yeah, yes. But now, because like I said, I think at the start of the year, we were like, well, he gonna be. He getting paid obviously, but he gonna be in a certain range. But he's played so well this year that I, he
the
get the
thing
pick
about
number.
Jack is he has a knack for striking while the iron's hot. And
He
the
negotiated the hell
Cowboys
out that
should be
last deal.
the Cowboys should be kicking themselves for not getting the last deal done early, which we all talked about. You could have got it done early. They could have got it done before the market jumped. And the market, when the Cowboys first started negotiating with Dak the last deal, the market was like 20, 23 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then it jumped to 40.
Yeah. Yep.
But they could have got that deal done and they didn't. And they let everybody sign before them. And then they had no choice to pay Dak the going rate. And right now, you're looking at a situation where Dak is coming off an MVP caliber season. He's not going to win it, but he's going to probably finish in the top 2 or 3 caliber season. He's the best quarterback in the NFC this year. And the going rate for quarterbacks starts at $52 million to $55 million. What is Joe Burrow got?
Because that's 55.
That's where the conversation starts with Dak. And the Cowboys know it, and that's what it is. It's I thought before the season, where the deals were done, that they could get him at 50, and 52, somewhere in that range between Joe Burrow and what some other guys got. But now he goes to the top of the food chain.
Man, as I said, he's made a lot. Now, as we move back away from his money, what do you think about the way he's playing as we head into the playoffs?
No, I think Dak is playing well. I mean, the Buffalo game, it was a sticker for everybody, and of course that could have been a different game if he hits that opening pass to Brandon Cooks, but it was a sticker for everybody. But Dak has been playing well. He played well in Miami. He had to, and I like to look at when he plays and when he's played well and how he comes back. And you go back to the Miami game. He had a game-winning drive. He had a drive, MVP signature drive against Miami in the last few minutes, and throwing a touchdown pass on one of the best cornerbacks in the league, but everybody stays away from it. And the defense didn't let it hold up, in Miami. And last week against Detroit, again, fourth quarter, the Cowboys are down, and he leads them back and leads them on a touchdown drive to put them in the lead, to win the game. And you go back to the interception, but after the interception, he doesn't blink, early in the game I'm talking about, and does the same thing. He avoids the rush, extend the play with his feet and throws a 92-yard touchdown to CeeDee Lamb. He just doesn't blink right now. He's confident, he's playing well, and that's what he has it going. I asked him earlier this season, was he in a zone or just him? And right now it's just him. It's not about being in the zone. It's not just being hot. This is who he is and how he's been playing for the sort of better part of this year.
Now, I think that's a really good distinction because I think this is who he is, and when he's in the zone, he's throwing for 350 and 4 touchdowns, and when he's playing his basic game, he's around 275, 285, 1 or 2 touchdowns, depending on what the game calls for. But he's not making a lot of mistakes. And, I wasn't even tripping on the pick against the Lions because that was kind of I put it more on he was a little late. Lions dude made a good play. It's the NFL. It happens. But it wasn't one of those where you're like, what the hell are you doing, man? And he's made very few of those decisions, whereas I think last year there were a few more of those. Like, okay, what are you doing, Doc? And if he stays away from those as he's done, I don't think we're going to look back at a playoff game and go, oh, if they don't win, that's why they lost. It's Dak wasn't playing well.
No doubt. But again, it's all on the line. Everything starts over. You got to get it done in the playoffs, and this is where legacies are created. And Mike McCarthy always says defenses win championships, but quarterbacks win Super Bowls. You need the quarterback, especially when you don't have a Ravens or Chicago Bears defense to play well when it matters most this time of year. And they definitely have a running back. It's just like, so we were talking to Tony Pollard yesterday. That's what people understand is like when you judge Dak's game, and the Cowboys' success is all on Dak in the passing game. There's no running game to rely on. You can't run when you want to, can't run when you need to, can't run when you try to run out the game. You can't run at the 1 yard line. You can't run. It's all on Dak, and that's different than than San Francisco, which has a good running game and to help take pressure off the quarterback, or even in Baltimore.
Right.
And I love what Jackson's done, but he has the number one defense in the league. I mean, and they do have a running game, so they do have. It's not just all on his arm to make things happen, and that's what Dak has had to do. Tony Pollard said yesterday, this season has been a disappointment. He thought he'd have a better year. Everybody thought Tony Pollard would have a better year than he's had. It's not just on Tony Pollard. The offensive line has not been there running. The holes are not there. But let's be honest. After his breakout season last season as a backup to Zeke, and being stepped up as the RB1 and this year and the opportunity to get more carries, he hoped for more. The Cowboys hoped for more for the running game, and it's not been there.
Is this playoff run just as important for Micah Parsons' legacy?
Well, he's in his third year, and so I don't think it's the same. It's not like it's in the 8th or 9th year. Hope from Michael Parsons' standpoint, he has many more in them. But he's an integral part of this team, and there's so much is said. Like I said, you go back to last year, and there's so much said about Dak, but I don't remember any sacks or difference-making plays with Michael Parsons. And to be a champion, you need your best player to show up in the biggest game, whether it's offense or defense. I go back and I've talked all the time about, Trayvon Diggs had a chance to make game-changing plays in that 49ers game. He didn't do it, and so, everybody points to the Dak interception, but you need everybody to show up. And Michael Parsons, everybody acknowledges the best player, best individual talent on his team. You need him to play his great football, his best football, to get to the quarterback, impact the game, influence the game in the playoffs. That's how you win.
Yeah, he's still a baby, though. He's still a young player, though. Like you said, he's in his third year. He still is not what he's gonna become. Okay.
Let me put the brakes there for just 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Parcells said, "Big dogs bite his pups." Ain't no time limit when you're supposed to show up and show out. You go back to 92, 93, and 95. The Cowboys were babies in 92. They weren't supposed to win that year, but champions.
The Cowboys had a pass rusher that was not a baby. They had a full-grown Charles Haley as a pass rusher. I'm saying as far as player development, he's a puppy and he's biting, but he's not going to be. Listen to what I said. He's not as good as he's going to be. That's all I was saying.
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is this. I understand, and I said the first thing I said was in third year's league, not that. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, he's the best player right now.
Okay.
He may not be at his best. He's the team's best player, best individual talent right now. He's their best defender right now. Mm-hmm. And you need your best players to show up. There's no, it don't matter whether he's in the third year, fourth year, fifth year, 8th year.
Hey, sir.
Because the 8th year is not, the 8th year is not proper.
Hi, it's nice to meet you, Joseph.
Hello?
Yeah.
Where we get that? With 8 years now, I'm just saying, regardless, certainly his legacy won't be decided this year because he does have more years.
But for this team to win, breathe a little bit.
Easy, killer.
Breathe a little bit. You can't say let me finish and then go on a 9-point rant. I'm just trying to tell you two things, sir. Two things can be true.
And they are true.
Okay, then.
And what I'm saying is this. Ain't no wait your turn in the NFL.
I didn't say wait your turn. I just made the point that he's a young player. I'm just saying.
I'm talking in general.
Okay.
I'm talking in general.
I keep forgetting that you're a guest in our house. I'm going to let you go ahead with that.
Champions seize the opportunity. And I hear you. He's a young player. He's not at his best. All I'm saying is this. And you go back to Romo in 2006, whatever else. Seize the opportunity when it's there. And I don't care where you are, what point you are in your career. If the opportunity is there, you have to seize that. That's what champions do. If you're going to be a champion, it's time to show up and show out.
Okay.
Big Rig, the floor is yours.
Like I said, two things can be true. I was just saying that I wasn't saying that he don't need to bite now, that he ain't biting now. I was just making the point offhand that he was he's not as good as he's going to be. And probably he needs some help getting off. Like if you want to make a good point, he needs some help getting off because they did him a disservice during the line game. They got to put him in a better position to make plays. And then right now, Dan Quinn ain't doing that. But as far as him, go ahead.
No, I mean, and so that's the crazy part because his whole emergence, his whole game has been about Dan Quinn moving around to put him in position to play plays. Mm-hmm. Put him on the end, rushing from the middle, rushing from both sides. That's been why Dan Quinn has been held as such a great defensive coordinator. Michael's been held as by they don't want him to be in one spot. They want to move him around to put him in position to make plays. And so, whether they've done that effectively enough, that's that can be argued. But that's what this whole defense is about: is moving back around and putting in positions to be at his best to make plays, so people can't just tee off on him and try to find him at one spot. But again, at the end of the day, and like I said, this is my overall point for all the Cowboys. Going back to the Romo Cowboys, is that you have to champions show up and show out. And the only reason I bring up 92, 93, you could talk about, they brought Charles Haley, but Jacques remembers in 92, the Cowboys, the year before they lost to the Lions, everybody thought they were a year away. Mm-hmm. And no one predicted the Cowboys were going to win in 92. And those young Cowboys, with the help of Charles Haley, a veteran,
Thomas Everett, James Washington,
all of them. I know the names, but those young Cowboys showed up and made it happen. You had the Tom Merlin, James Washington, but you also had the Michael and Emmett and all those other guys. Those young Cowboys that never won nothing, who was the 1-15s and all the other stuff they did. They showed up and seized their opportunity. And you can say that with any championship game. You got to go, see when Patrick Mahomes came up, you got to go seize your opportunity. And I'm saying that from a global standpoint, the Cowboys, at some point, the excuses have to be out the window. Whether it's going back to Rumble, dropping the snap, whether it's a Dez, whatever. At some point for these Cowboys, this Cowboys team, any future Cowboys team, is when the playoffs show up, all your players need to show up and play their best football and snatch that championship like the Raiders did. Seize the opportunity, make it happen now. No excuses about young, old, roll, whatever. Make it happen.
Okay. How about that? I'm gonna do you like I do my wife when she rambling like that. Okay.
I'm sorry. I mean ramble. I'm just saying that you gotta seize the day, my brothers. They need to seize the day. I'm not giving nobody no passes on age or youth or whatever else. It's time for them to win because Cowboys organization has been 28 years, and these guys are getting some of that 28 year stuff. Well, 28 years has always been something. No more excuses. As wide open as it's ever been.
There's no juggernaut. I wasn't giving him an excuse. I was saying that. I was just simply saying that he is not what he is going to become. And then you want to invoke Parcells and all of that. Bro,
I do because to me it's a global thing, and I hear you, and I'm just taking what you're saying to a larger scale. I understand, and I hear you. He's not going to what he's going to be, and I hear you. I'm just saying that from a guy that's covered this team since 1997, mm-hmm. and watched every game, every practice. Whatever. He's not going to be what he is, but right now he's the best player on the Cowboys defense. And you need your best player to seize the day.
Okay. Like I said, two things can be true.
As we talk, we're finna move on.
Yeah, thank you.
As we talk about another dude, what's the difference, before we get up out of here, what's the difference between CeeDee Lamb now and CeeDee Lamb earlier in the season when we wondered whether he was a true number one receiver?
Well, the difference is they get in the ball, and they're not over there in the corner sucking because they didn't not get in the ball, and not, but what's also true is this: Mike McCarthy's changed his offense. Let's be honest about this. And then, I was trying to piggyback on something. He admitted, a few weeks ago, the difference in offense, they turned Dak loose. Early in the season, I'm trying to do this West Coast thing. I'm going to run the ball. I'm throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage. Remember those first few games and look at the yards per attempt and how they were trying to play offense. And after that San Francisco game, everything flipped. CD went off and, he didn't go off, but he was sulking and let everybody know it. But Mike McCarthy said we turned Dak loose. And so they opened up the passing game. They start going downfield and doing different things. And CD is a tough cover. I mean, they've always known that it's not just a slot. He's outside, inside. He's a tough guy to cover. He catches the ball, and he looks like he is against Texas. He runs after the catch. He's great after the catch. He's hard to tackle for such a skinny guy. But, yeah, Mike McCarthy started abandoning it. I want to run the ball and protect my defense. I want to limit big plays, limit mistakes, limit those turnovers. The Dak was a turnover machine last year. Want to run the ball because his defense is the best defense in the league. Well, as we've talked, the defense is not a juggernaut. It's not it's a good defense, but it doesn't stone anybody. The defense actually plays its best when the offense is scoring. They have to play for a lead. They turn the offense loose. They turn Dak loose, and the essence turns CD loose, and there's been a difference. But it's not just CD. I was talking to Brandon Cooks the other day, and CD's been great. But the biggest touchdown the past 2 weeks has been to Brandon Cooks. We talked about him not being involved early, and he's such a veteran. He's such a pro, such a great leader in the locker room. He's so consistent, and he just stayed trusted the process, and Dak trusts him. He right. goes to him in big moments. It's not. CD is certainly getting all the stats, all the yards, but in big moments the last couple of weeks, it's been Brandon Cooks with the big touchdown.
I think that will continue because CD demands a certain amount of attention, and what you want is, okay, fine, we'll bust you with this other dude the minute that you start sleeping on him. We'll go get you over here because CD is going to demand double coverage in some instances, and Brandon Cooks can still beat you deep. And then we already seen that he's been a terrific route runner on some of these touchdowns lately. Before we get out of here, Washington and who they playing? Oh, Michigan. How you see that game going?
I want Washington to win just because, that's a team we lost to. Texas lost to Washington. I really like the quarterback. He's certainly accurate as hell. But I think one thing that Michigan has, the Texas didn't have, is they're going to get after the quarterback. They're going to pass rush, have a better defense. It's going to be a different game. I didn't get a chance to see Michigan, Alabama because I was traveling, and I think I was pre-game festivity, pre-gaming at the time. I really thought. I mean, it's funny because I saw the first play of the game. I saw the interception. I saw this game's over. And then the interception wasn't
right.
Interception wasn't interception. It was a close game, and as long as they can't let Michigan hang around, and then it was a legacy game. This is a legacy game for Harbaugh. Cause it was funny because I went after Pat McAfee on Twitter the other day. Of course, I got into a Twitter fight, but he was saying before the game, this is a game between two historically great coaches. And I'm like, what has made Harbaugh historically great? He has no titles. Right. You can say Saban is historically great, but what has made Harbaugh historically great? He has no titles in the NFL. There's no titles in college. He's a good coach, but you can't be historically great without a title.
Yep.
This is his opportunity. This is true.
Yep.
This is his opportunity to get that title.
It's a classic offensive-defensive matchup, and we'll see how it go. Obviously, I'm rooting for Washington. I don't get into that whole, if my guy can't go, I'm going to root for the rest of the conference. I just can't get down like that. The hate run too deep for me to put it to a side for a week or two. So, go Huskies!
Yeah. Go Huskies. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Plus, I got to root for the black quarterback. So, hey.
There you go. Well, I just wonder how much his stock. I mean, you look at him, and a lot of people think he should have won the Heisman, and how much does his stock rise in the draft? I mean, because I don't think there's a more accurate quarterback. There's not a more accurate quarterback coming out.
I'm gonna use a Clarence Hill line. because he used it yesterday. We were talking about the Cowboys on the Media Mash, which you can catch us every Wednesday and Thursday on Cowboys Radio. And he said, we were talking about should the Cowboys add Dalvin Cook. I guess we should have talked about that real quick today. And he said, and we're talking to Nick Harris from DallasCowboys.com. He's like, well, what if he wants a 2-year deal? What about the money next year? And Clarence is like, why are you always worried about the money next year? We're trying to win today. And my point is, people will look at Michael Penix and go, he's 24, he's going to be 29 in his contract, he's old, we don't want to do that. Like, I wouldn't care. Anyway, quarterbacks are playing till they're 40. He can play till he's 35. If you think he's that guy, I don't care how old he is, he's experienced, he can come in, he should be able to play for you right away. So if you think he's that guy, I'd take him number 2 or number 3 after you get past, Drake and Caleb. If you think he's that guy, Bo Nix is 24. I wouldn't let age stop me from getting a quarterback. If I thought, and we've seen a bunch of raggedy quarterback play this year, if I thought he was the guy and he could come in and with his experience help me win right now, I wouldn't care how old he is. Come on, let's go. Joe Flacco was starting right now.
Oh, no doubt, and playing well. You look at Jaden Daniels, and certainly Jaden Daniels is more athletic, but Jaden Daniels got to throw a better ball. The Heisman Trophy winner from LSU who's going to go high in the draft. He did not throw a better ball than this kid, and he's mobile. He can get away from people, but he's a thrower, and that's what you need. So I think he acquitted himself well to rise in the draft from what he did against Texas. And if he does the same thing against Michigan, look out.
Right. Now, since I opened up the window, before we let you go, Dalvin Cook, you down or you not down?
I'm down. They just signed Sadoric Thompson, former Texas Tech running back, to the practice squad. I don't know what that does for them. But, my conversation with the Cowboys yesterday that they were doing their homework on Dalvin Cook. And so we'll see. Again, a 4-time Pro Bowler, you're not expecting to come in and be the bell cow. You're expected to come in and supplement what you have with Tony Pollard, because you need more from your running game in the playoffs. Just like you try to go get Leo Collins to help the offensive line, go get Dalvin Cook.
How does a guy help that late in the game? I mean, what can affect? How do you know if he got gas in the tank? Do you have to wait till he playing, or does he show you something in practice?
Well, he played this year. It's not like he hasn't played.
Right.
And you were running Deuce out there last week.
Okay.
And Duke gives you nothing. I mean, we're talking about based on what you have on your roster. You're not asking to come in and replace Tony Pollard. You're asking him to come in and be in a tandem or supplement Tony Pollard to give you something that you don't have. And you got some unproven guys that haven't done it. This guy has proven he's done it. He just rushed for 1,100 yards for a Pro Bowl a year ago. So it's not like, he just fell off the cliff. He doesn't have any major leg injuries he's coming off of. He just didn't have a role with the Jets. But he's a proven guy that you've seen that's done it before. And you got guys on the bench who haven't done it before.
Roger that.
All right. On that note, we always appreciate you, Clarence Hill Jr. D stands for everywhere he goes, he has a great time. Holler at me.
And every time you make a point, he overtalk you. Yeah, there you go. Do you know how long I've known you? You know how long before you was covering the Cowboys? I was
back
part of
covering girls soccer.
I was part of the Young Naysayers with Money Club.
I'm not touching the naysayer comment.
I knew you would like that. You wasn't ready for that. You wasn't ready for that.
And you're not ready for this. You're not finna Cat Williams me.
Yeah. Oh no, no sir. Hey, if I show up on Uncle Shay, I'm getting all y'all. That's what I'm saying.
You're not finna Cat Williams either.
Can I tell y'all something? I listened to all 3 hours of that yesterday.
Yeah,
it was epic. I was doing some work, and I had it on, and it was truly enjoyable because Cat took everybody down. Yeah. Came with all the receipts.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think Shannon created a lot of that mess, man. Shannon kind of messy like that, man. He getting
he was
the best out
homeboy
of
messy.
everybody.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I can't believe he did that to you, dog. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he did a nice job with that.
Well, I first of all,
and that cognac don't hurt.
Cat Williams, I love Shannon. That's my guy. But Cat Williams is a level above Shannon. He couldn't handle that interview. He was a fanboy, and he lost control of the interview.
Okay.
He lost total control of that interview. Lost total control because Cat came.
Well, what happened is he didn't check Cat on a couple things. Like Cat said, I read 3,000 books one year. He did not read 3,000 books one year, dog.
Exactly.
I mean, I did the math. You can't read that's like 10 a day.
He lost
sometimes you
control
gotta
of the
check him
interview.
on some things.
It depends on how many chapters is the book. That's the question. Is it a 6-book chapter? I'm just saying.
I guess you can read 3,000 Dr. Seuss books.
Yes, you can.
But you got a question. We got to check. He lost control of the interview, and it was over there. But Cat came in with receipts. He remembered his whole interview with Cedric the Entertainer. I mean, he came in with an agenda, and he had no control.
Yeah.
And Cat executed his plan perfectly, and it worked out for Shannon because he had 10 million hits, I think, in 8 hours.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And it's going to go up as people hear more about it.
No doubt.
He had his viral moment and didn't even know it.
Everybody waiting for the Epstein tapes, but when Cat let off the clip, everybody was talking about that more than Epstein stuff yesterday.
And then, Cedric the Entertainer's had his rebuttal. Ricky Smiley was like, if you want to hear what I got to say, listen to my show this morning.
Yeah.
And so, it's...
I don't know how
But the first word is the one you remember.
Cedric didn't deny stealing the joke. He like, is this the rebuttal? You didn't deny stealing the joke, so...
One joke he claims... Yeah, all right. Hey, we appreciate you, man. I'll holler at you later.
Yeah, he just booted you straight up out of here. Get your ass out of here.
It's been long. All right, guys.
All right, man. Thank you, bro.
It's all love.
Yes, sir.
That's Clarence Hill Jr. Wow. He's presented to you, brought to you each and every Friday by our good friends at Smokey John's Barbecue, Brent and Juan, owners over there. It is fantastic. The food is sensational. I mean, it really is. Start your new year off by swinging by Smokey John's Barbecue, 1820 West Mockingbird. Get yourself the Jam Session Bowl. Now, you won't find it on the menu, but trust me, it exists. I'm not going to say what I usually say, but we're going to work that out. I think I sent a text. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
Send
I
a
had to
text
figure
to
out
who?
what the schedule. I said, you see, I caught myself. I didn't say I sent it to you. I caught myself because maybe I meant to and I didn't. I've done that a couple times recently. But anyway, we've been trying to get Big Joe in the Big Rig, the Jam Session Bowl. There was a rumor he was headed to this part of town, and I was going to be able to hook him up, but I don't know if that rumor was coming true. But Jam Session Bowl is love in your mouth. It's a bowl that's either got mac and cheese or mashed potatoes, your choice of 2 smoked meats. I rock with the brisket and the sausage, which is fantastic. And then they put all that stuff that you like on a loaded baked potato, bacon bits and chives and sour cream and cheese and butter, all that stuff, man. They put it on top of that. Whoo, it's to live for. Then they either drizzle it with that sauce or they drench it with that sauce. And again, it's enough for 2 easy. If you got a little shorty that's 6 or 7, the 3 of y'all can eat out of it easy. If you're a grown ass man, you might be able to take it down yourself. One day soon, we'll see if a friend of mine can take it down himself. But until then, know that it exists. And it is love in your mouth, the Jam Session Bowl. You got to ask for it because on the secret menu, they made it specially for us. And it is to live for. Now, if you want some Smokey John's a little more sooner than that, and you can't get over there, hey, you can go to SmokeyJohns.com. Click on the marketplace. You can order the sauce or the rub. I have both in my home. And it is terrific. Here's a little secret. Try to rub on some popcorn. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Just try it on some popcorn. That's all I'm going to say. Check it out. Send me a thank you note later.
So how you do that? It's all good. Do you pop it and then you shake it on there and kind of pop it, pour it in the bag?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Yes,
how do you
sir.
do that with the popcorn?
The way I do it is I pop it I pour it in the only bowl I had, which is a very large black mixing bowl. Yeah. And then I sprinkle it on top of the popcorn that's in the mixing bowl. That's the way I get down. And I prefer Orville Redenbacher kettle corn. Don't judge me.
Yeah. I would probably put it in the
minute
bag.
35 in the microwave.
Yeah.
The only problem with the bag is it don't always get. I don't feel like it coats it all. It's heavy on the top, not in the middle or the bottom. That's just me though.
Gotcha.
But try it. Because I saw them do it on a commercial. I think it was a commercial. They were doing a live show. I saw them do it, and I was like, you know what? I like that. So next time I had some, like it was a day or two later, I tried it, and it was delicious. What can I say? You can also, if you need something to rub today, like you want to try it on popcorn, like within an hour, go to HEB, man. Waxahachie, Burleson, McKinney, Allen, and Frisco. Go pick you up the rub, sprinkle it on your popcorn. Shoot us a tweet about it, man. Matter of fact, I may do that in a little bit because I could use some popcorn. You never go wrong with some popcorn. Anything done in moderation is good. But Smokey John's Barbecue, 1820 West Mockingbird, the Jam Session Bowl, the rub on the popcorn, it's all good. You can't go wrong with it. And on that note, my friend, this is going to, well, I don't know, it may make you laugh. Let's go to the block, bro. The reason I said it may, okay, this is a good time. The reason I said it may make you laugh is I was talking about be nice to people that you see at the gym this first week or two as everybody's trying to start their New Year's resolution and lose weight or get in shape or whatever they're doing. And so I thought I would follow it up with some tips to make your trip back to the gym successful. But before I do that, I did want to give y'all, I like to do, I don't, let me see, how do you say this? I think you should do this sometimes. Joe made one of the funniest comments he's ever made when he talked about the young naysayers with Money Party. And
the club.
What you don't want to,
it was the
club, young sayers with Money Club, which is so true. And it was it was good times. I'll tell y'all just a little bit about it because I don't want to be an inside joke that only we know about. Because it wasn't a joke; it was a real club. It was, and some of the members, because there were some base members and some rotating members, but it was really me and Clarence, Joe, friend of ours named Chris Perkins. I believe another friend of ours named Terrence Harris used to make an occasional appearance. I think. I don't know if Calvin Watkins was around at that time, so he may not have made one. Am I missing anybody?
Kevin Lyons.
Kevin Lyons used to make an appearance. He was a Cowboys beat writer for the Star-Telegram at the time. Terrence Harris, I believe, was covering high schools or colleges for the Star-Telegram. Chris Perkins covered high schools for the morning news.
Clarence was covering high schools.
Was covering high schools.
Yeah.
And what it was a bunch of young, successful black men who had schedules that allowed them to be around in the middle of the day. And sometimes we just say, so what you doing? Nothing. Well, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing? Nothing. Okay, let's get together. And sometimes we might barbecue. It seemed like it was at my house most of the time, but I can't swear to it. Sometimes we play video games. Sometimes we just sit around and solve all the world's problems. But we used to call it the Young Naysayers with Money Club because we were all successful black men in the middle of the day while everybody else was working. And we were just having a blast. And it was a good time. It's some of my best times. I think sometimes we maybe even played a little basketball. But it was a good time. And, we're all friends now. We're all grown. We got families now. See, I don't think we had families then. And so it's easy to get away and just hang out.
Y'all had all them media guys in one truck driver. And
it was a good time, man.
That's why I ain't scared of y'all. That's what I'm saying.
I know. That's why he's talking about. He know all the secrets, so he really don't care.
Yeah, but it was a good time. I was honored to be part of that. It was all good. It was all good. Yeah.
No, it was. I'm laughing, man, because I was thinking about barbecuing out in the middle of the winter one time.
Yeah.
We used to have fun.
Yeah.
And most of this, I think, happened in the spring because we was probably all busy with football and stuff during the season. But during the spring, when the schedule lightened up, it was easy to take off days or take the middle of the day off and have a good time.
Well, one of the things I learned about that club was, well, I'm sorry to interrupt you. One of the things I learned about when y'all used to talk is how y'all phrase stuff. Because I remember Clarence. I wish Clarence was still on. But one time Clarence said, hey, how come Emmett don't run hard no more? How come y'all don't ask him about that? And I remember y'all going, how would you phrase that? How would you ask about that? How would you ask Emmitt Smith, how come he don't run hard no more? And then it was one of them things where I kind of learned how to y'all phrase stuff and how you work at what you do and all of that stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Obviously because a lot of us were journalists, or most of us were journalists, we have a lot of conversations about sources and, but we just shooting the bull corner with each other, trying to figure out how to, how to do it. And
somebody,
what's that?
Remember, man, not to go off the deep end, but somebody was talking about a source. A source was talking. Somebody was talking about what somebody said, and one of them guys tore their ass early and scooped. You remember?
You know what?
Yeah.
I remember that, but I can't remember it. I remember something happened.
Somebody said
we was talking about a story.
Yep.
And somebody like, oh, I gotta go.
I left something turned on at home. I got to go.
And they slipped out.
Yeah.
And busted the story the next day.
Yep.
And that's when you knew all's fair in love and war, baby. Yep. I can't remember. I remember that, but I can't remember all the details.
I was laughing my ass. I was like, ooh.
But I remember there was some salted. It could have been me who slipped out.
No, it might have been. It was a big dude with glasses. Might have been Terrence or somebody.
That was Terrence then.
Yeah, he got his. It's funny how I remember useless stuff, but he got up and left. And then busted the whole story.
Dog, I remember was like, man.
I can't believe that fool did that. Yep. Well, there you go.
So we also used to get together on Monday Night Football. That's why they used to make fun of me for going to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I go to sleep in a minute. I like the game running long, and I'm on the floor. The next day, I'm snoring. It's in the middle of the third quarter. Those were the good old days, man. But that's funny as hell.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to ask Terrence if he remembers that. Yeah. Because he's living in Houston now, kind of an independent journalist doing some lane. But he's created kind of a niche for himself, so he's doing well. Chris Perkins is in Miami covering the Dolphins. And who else was it? Kevin Lyons is at the state comptroller's office in Austin. And then you got me and Clarence still doing what we do. And then you got Joe here doing what he do. So that's the Young Naysayers with Money Club. Woo, boy, that was a fun trip down memory lane.
I thought I'd get him with that. Clarence said, I ain't touching that. I'm out. Yeah.
Woo, that was funny. The other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about was, and I'm just trying to be helpful here. I like to call them in fun my personal public service announcement. If you're on that weight loss journey, you're on that fitness journey, here's some tips for you. I've been on it for a long time. I still ain't mastered it, ain't come close to mastering it. But I will tell you this. This is why I work out all the time. It has nothing to do with being a Mr. Muscles guy. It has really not a lot to do with losing weight, although those are both benefits that I like from working out. I work out because I have no desire whatsoever to be an old man who can't get around as I move into the 70s and 80s. And the work that you do now in the 50s or the 40s, it will pay off tremendously for you in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. I look at my dad, called that man the other day. Hey, what's up? I said, where you at? He said, at the gym, get my work on. My dad, he ain't listening today. 80 years old and some change. Still work out 3 days a week. Him and my son was messing around, half wrestling last week when we were up in Buffalo. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to do whatever activity I choose to do in my 70s and 80s and be able to do it. Working out does not guarantee you that will happen, but it gives you a better chance that your body will be strong and healthy and do all that stuff. So wherever you are in your fitness journey, the most important thing is to just take a step. People all the time My fitness journey began. My ex-wife got a trainer. This was probably the mid-90s. And she had been working out with this trainer, and she was having some results, and she was always fit, but she was getting more fit. And I was like, you know what? And back then, I was probably, no cap now, probably 255, 260. And I went with her one day, and the guy said, he's still a good friend of mine, Chris. I think Joe has met him a few times, right? Have you met Chris?
Yeah, I know Chris. Yeah.
And Chris is still training out in South Lake. Been training for 30-some years. Looks great. But I went to my fitness test, man. He said, okay, let's get down and see how many push-ups you can do. I said, okay. I got down there. I got halfway up. Fell right down on my face. So I call it half a push-up. So that's where my fitness journey started. So if you can start from a half a push-up, it's all good. But anyway, here are my tips. They're in no particular order. But if you can follow these tips, it'll give you a chance to have a successful workout plan. And then you just kind of bastardize it and make it your own. But sometimes people need a guide just to get started. So, number one, even though I said they're in no particular order, I had to list them as I was writing them down. Make it part of your daily schedule. That's how you get a habit started. Like, I started working out at 5 in the morning. Why? It was the one part of the day nobody wanted. No phone calls from sources, no stories to write. That part of the day is mine. So I started working out then, because then it meant I could get it in every day. Maybe your part of the day is in the afternoon. Maybe it's after work, before you pick up your kids or go home to your significant other. It doesn't matter, but schedule it so that you get it done. Diet and exercise go together. You can't out-exercise a bad diet if losing weight is what you're trying to do. Doesn't mean you have to eat. I mean, it just means your diet has to be good. Doesn't mean you got to eat nothing but lettuce and carrots. It just means that if you're having a bunch of bad fried foods, it's going to be hard to see the progress that you want while you're working out. Which goes next to eat food that's good and good for you. Those are possible. It can be good and good for you. That's kind of the way I eat these days. If you have to pick one, lift weights instead of doing cardio. Why? You can burn more calories lifting weights than walking on the treadmill or running on the treadmill. And muscle burns more than fat when you're just chilling. When you're just sitting on the couch, if you have more muscle, it burns more calories than if you have fat. Number 5, when you go to the gym, you're lifting weights, lift your weight. Okay? Don't worry about what other folks are doing. Let me tell y'all something. I work out with 2 guys every morning, Zeus and Keith. Let's just use the bench press as an example. Zeus does 5 sets of, he could do 10 sets of 10 at 225 pounds. Keith can do probably 8 sets of 10 at 225 pounds. Your boy, I can do 10 sets of 3 or 4 at 225. And I'm cool with that. And a lot of times I tell them, y'all do that 10 at 225, I'm going to do 10 at 205, because I'm worried about getting the proper form and a good rep, as opposed to showing them that I can lift just as much as they can, because I'm not as strong as them. And at a certain point, I have no desire to be. So lift your weight. Don't worry about other folks. If you're new to the gym, get a trainer if you can afford one, or budget for one, just so you can learn how to put a workout routine together and learn the equipment. If that take you 1 or 2 sessions, that's all you need. Just so you have just a little bit of guidance at the start. No different than getting a little teaching or a little coaching on any new activity you want to perform. Like, I really want to learn how to roller skate. Don't ask me why. I just kind of really want to learn how to roller skate. I've been looking for somebody to take classes lately. But I'm going to get a coach or a teacher, a trainer to show me how. I always advise this. Get some gym clothes. Look good, feel good, work out good. I stole that kind of from Dion. I didn't say you had to spend a bunch of money on clothes. Amazon is a beautiful thing. You can get some great workout stuff on Amazon, $10, $12, really. Because some just showed up in the mail for me the other day. No cap. You don't have to kill yourself in every workout. Sometimes the victory is in showing up. Today, the victory was in showing up. We sat around and solved all the world's problems. And as we got ready to do this last set, I looked at Zeus and I was like, hey, dawg, you know, we just going to have to come back and run this back tomorrow because we ain't got nothing done today. He just looked at me and started laughing and said, you're right. We've been talking too much. It happens sometime, but we got some work done this morning. It's all good. 3 times a week is great. 2 times a week is great. Whatever you can fit it in consistently. But 3 times, I think, allows you to hit every body part, and you can get some momentum going, and you can see some progress. And progress usually is the motivator to keep on going. Number 10, my last one. Check this out now. Exercise hurts. Muscles should be sore if you're working them, especially on day 2 of a workout. Like you did your biceps on Monday, middle of the day Wednesday, you might be like, oh my God, my biceps are sore. Soreness is okay. Know the difference between pain and injury. Your boy does not deal with injury. I stopped, lower the weight, change the form, change the technique, all of that. But pain is just kind of part of it, and you can learn to love it and embrace it. Because it's soreness, it means your muscles are working, your body's working, and it's a positive thing. So there's just a few tips I got for you on starting your workout plan. I'm going to pop these up on Twitter and IG if you want to take a look at them, if you didn't get them all down. But that's my little way to help you start your workout plan. Hope that's good. You got anything to add, Joe?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I want to add that when you start your journey, you're going to look and feel one way. When you get to where you want to go, you're going to look and feel a whole nother way. And with great power, I'm going to steal Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. When you get that body you want, the muscles you want, don't go thinking you can whoop your best friend ass. Or don't go to thinking that you can just do what you want to do with that new body. Like, I'm going to give you a quick story.
Well, somebody's on one today.
I'm on one every day. I just get never mind. Anyway, my mom's funeral. All right. He probably don't remember where I'm going with this.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody's walking through the line. I'm sitting there and I'm just, I'm holding it together. I'm just, it's my mom. And my friend Jacques says, the usher is ushering them one way. The usher kind of stout. All right. Jacques kind of stout. And the usher is kind of ushering him past me because I'm sitting on the front row. Well, Jacques want to reach over and shake my hand. And the usher's like, no, you got to go that way. And Jacques like, no, I'm going to shake his hand. And the usher's like, no, you got to go that way. And next thing you know, these fools is like in the front row, in front of everybody. And I'm like, and finally Jacques kind of put a little move on him and pushed him to the side and shook my hand. And I'm going, boy, all that exercise and weights, he ain't taking no for an answer. At the funeral, this fool's wrestling with the usher, man. Come on now. Hey,
man.
Easy killer.
Be supportive.
You are very supportive.
Be supportive.
Hey,
man.
you've been 1,000% supportive, and I love you for being there. But you wrestling with the usher. I'm trying not to laugh on the front row at the funeral. The preacher was bad enough, but
man.
I'm just saying it was one of the things I would never forget. This fool done went off on the deep end. So with great power comes great responsibility. He done went from no push up, from not to be able to do one push up, to wrestling with the damn usher. And I'm telling you that if you was there, it would have just laid you out. I'm like, all right, but yeah, I remember that. So. Anyway, like I say, I know where all the bodies are buried.
I'm drinking egg yolks for breakfast.
Yeah. I get threatened at least once a month about whooping my ass. All right, I don't know what in the history say that you tough, but all right then. But anyway, y'all go ahead with that. Hey, like I said, I appreciate your journey. I've seen it. It's all good. I ain't mad at you. That's some good advice, really, to be honest with you. But I just really wanted to share the usher story because it was like, I can't believe this. And if y'all just would have seen them fools jostling, I mean, he got position, the usher got position. And it was like a quick little thing. The usher kind of realized he overmatched, dog. So, But anyway.
Yeah, dog. I wasn't trying to go there, but I might have had to go there.
You was trying to go there. You wanted to show him who his boss was. It was all good. But you shook my hand, though. I appreciate it, though. And, yeah.
That was really the only goal.
Yeah.
That's a few workout tips for you. That's a nice little trip around the block. Let's go into this little Cowboys real quick. Washington, they are there to be beaten. All right, they're not going to rise up and beat your Cowboys as long as the Cowboys show up with the proper mindset and go to work and play their game and beat them. Washington, Ron Rivera knows he's about to get fired. They got a brand new owner, which means they about to blow out the entire coaching staff, most likely. All them assistants have spent the week calling their boys. Hey, Joe, y'all got any openings over there where you at, man? I don't know, dog. Well, let me see. Hey, I mean, they've been calling all their friends all week, looking for a landing spot. Players who are not up under long-term contracts have been like, hey, man, where you think we might fit in free agency? I might go over here, dog. I think my boys over there, he said they're doing pretty good. They're looking for a 3 technique. Oh, okay. Those who under long-term contracts, they've been conferring with their wives all week. Baby, Turk and Caicos or Aruba? What you think? Everybody doing everything but focusing on the game. And so, here's what I'm saying. And I've said this on different circumstances before. It's not that teams quit, okay? Because they're professional athletes. They have a certain level of pride, 99.9% of athletes. What happens is they lose focus during the week. They're not paying. I mean, do you think the players on Washington, the vast majority of them, because there's always some trendsetters who do what they do no matter the circumstance. But do you think the vast majority of Washington players are spending the same amount of time watching tape this week that they watched week 1 when they're getting ready for a game, or they watched week 7 when they were 3-4 or 4-3 and everything was ahead of them and their playoffs were there? The answer for the most part is no. And so when you don't put in the same amount of practice effort, same amount of tape effort, same amount of attention in meetings, instead of listening to what your coach is saying, you thinking about your trip to Aruba next week, I wonder if I pick up this bikini and she'll give me a show what it looked like today. You know, all of that stuff leads to lack of focus, lack of preparation, which can show up on Sunday looking like you quit when you really didn't. You just weren't as focused and prepared. My point being, knowing that's what a lot of going on in Washington, if the Cowboys show up and play the way that they have been playing most of this year, this game, Dak will be able to chill, start at the fourth quarter, and you can get your starters out there, avoid injury, take care of business, put this one on ice, and, because this is a bad team that's lost 7 in a row, that's all that's required. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like something you said last week or a couple of weeks ago about teams that are losing for the season. I think you kind of said it about the Cardinals. Don't give these guys a chance to think they can compete with you or win the game. It kind of falls into what you said about when if the Cowboys go play like they playing, then Washington gonna quit early. But if Washington realize, hey man, these fools ain't got it together today, we can go on and spoil their season. So let's go on. Let's say if it's 7-3 in the doggone fourth quarter, Washington is still in that thing. They're gonna be trying to play hard. So it kind of go back to what you were saying the other day.
No, you're exactly right. Washington's lost 7 in a row. 9 out of 10, and if you go even further, they've lost 9, 10, 11, 12, 10 out of 12. So I mean, they are they're a bad team that has no incentive to win, and they shouldn't win. They played some close games in there. They just lost to the Jets the other day, 30-28. So they've had some close ones, but they've also been smoked a couple times. So if Dallas comes out and plays, they should do well. I don't think it's any more complicated than that. They've been outscored 118-39 in the first quarter, 144-101 in the second quarter. And so you see what I'm saying? Teams jump on them early, bust them up, and then, put the game on ice. That, to me, is what your Dallas Cowboys should do. That's what they need to do. And that's what I expect them to do. And I expect them to win this game, play well. They don't have no problem blowing out bad teams now. They got some other faults, but this ain't one of them. and I think they take care of business. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're gonna win. I think they know what's at stake. And if they don't, it's gonna be too late. I mean, you want the division, you want to win the division, you want to play at home. Focus on what you're doing.
Dude, they got the biggest blessing you can get as a football team.
Sure.
I can't believe that they would waste it, and I don't expect them to, because I think they're a really good team. I don't think they're a great team, but I think they're a really good team. They can do some great things, and the first thing they got to do as a really good team is take care of business and beat Washington, and I think they'll get it done Sunday. I've got the Cowboys winning 31-10.
Okay.
You got a score?
No.
You got the Cowboys win?
Yeah. I want them to win. I'm all about that bad luck. I ain't predicting nothing.
All right, so hey, we appreciate you hanging out with us today. We always like to thank our sponsors, Greening Law, for supporting us. When you support them, you support us and allow all the things that we want to do with the show. We also appreciate Smokey John's Barbecue for their support. And we got a couple contests coming up that you need to pay attention to. We got some details coming on the next episode. We're just trying to iron out a few things. And Joe is in his same going, really? What contest is that? I ain't heard nothing about no contest. Oh, it's coming, Doc. It's all coming.
You put it in the outline, though. You put contest in parentheses. But
did I?
Yeah, you did.
See? All right, good. I try to give you a little heads up, but sometimes I can't remember if I did. So that's on me, and I take responsibility for that.
It's all good.
Remember, you can always find me on Twitter at JJT Journalist. We also got the YouTube channel, Jacques Talk TV. So go check them all out. Instagram, Real Jacques Talk. We're everywhere. We ain't hard to find. Kind of like Dion. All right. So until we chat again, you guys be blessed.